guys. I guess this is going to be the first video on the new channel or on the channel. So yeah, basically give you some background on who I am. My name's John. I'm just turned 38. Today's my birthday. Excuse my voice. I'm a little sick today. But yeah, man, started my trading journey, I want to say back in 2015, 2016. I just graduated from college, which was the University of Texas at San Antonio. And I've always been kind of interested in the markets and whatnot, but it was more like the buy and hold, Warren Buffett kind of thing. I didn't even know day trading existed. What kind of piqued my interest that last year in college was when I'd go into the business building over here at UTSA in the finance department. They had the little tickers running across the wall, flashing green and red. And I was like, yo, man, what is that? That looks so interesting to me, right? And basically, long story short, man, I started researching more about the stock market, investing and whatnot. And I came upon like you could actually trade, right? You could actually day trade the stocks on a daily basis. You didn't have to just buy and hold, that mentality that Warren Buffett had. And don't get me wrong, it's still a solid mentality, right, to have. And I still try to implement that, on some of the longer term portfolio or whatever things that I have. But yeah, it just kind of piqued my interest. And ever since then, I kind of went down a rabbit hole of trading, right? But around that time, I graduated from college in 2015. About in 2015, 16, my wife and I actually started a woodworking business. And so you guys don't get bored, I'm going to give a shout out real quick to my wife and our page. We actually have we just started a YouTube channel too for the business. Like I said, it's a woodworking business, but I'm going to bring that in over here so you guys can see and look at it and kind of not get bored while I'm talking to you real quick about the background. Then we'll get back to the trading. So let me go ahead and bring that back in here. So like I said, this is our channel. We started back in 2015, 2016, and we started like, in the dirt, man. We didn't have no workshop. We didn't have all these fancy machines. We started I would go to Goodwill and I'd, see that they had, some dressers out there. They had nightstands for like $2 to $10, $15, $20. And my wife is actually a really good, she's a good designer. She always had artistic ability, and I had more of the business, investing kind of mind frame. So we kind of merged the two together, and I'd be like, hey man, because at that time I was selling stuff on eBay, right, while I was in school, and I was pretty successful with that. So every time I'd go into the Goodwills and whatnot, I would see that they had pretty cool stuff in there. So basically I had my wife, I bought a dresser for like, I want to say $50, and I had my wife do her thing, right? And we posted it on social media just to our inner circle and whatnot, and it blew up, man. We had like 30 comments saying that they wanted one and they were interested in it and whatnot. So basically we ended up flipping that thing for like $500-600, and I paid $100. And so that was kind of that buy low, sell high mentality, right? And I was like, yo man, we might have something here. So long story short, we ran with it. We did that. We bought so many dressers, so many nightstands, and eventually down the road, our clients were building, right? The client base was building, and they were starting to want other things other than just a dresser or a nightstand. They were wanting like custom signs, or they were wanting like a custom entertainment center that you couldn't buy at the Goodwill or at the Salvation Army. So that's when we kind of stepped into woodworking, right? We really had no experience. Like I said, I was, in high school, I was a pretty much your standard athlete. And my wife was an athlete too. She was very smart. We're both very smart, but we just never really messed with woodworking. And I did FFA. I did a little bit of welding, in high school for about a year, but wasn't really into woodworking. But like I said, we adapted. We saw that this could be an opportunity, and like I said, it fed my needs because I love the business side of things, right? And my wife and I are both had the degrees in the same thing. So she had a business savvy too, but like I said, she had that artistic ability and that design eye, what you call it, so she could help our clients basically like tailor their spaces to fit what they're wanting, right? Bring their vision to life, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, we started from the ground up. Like I said, we had no no fancy tools or anything. We started with like a $500 IOB set, right, from I think Home Depot. And that's how we started, man. In the dirt, we worked on the side of our house on a little, actually we didn't even have a awning or anything to cover us from the sun or the rain. We were just out there, you know, what do you call it, bootstrapping it, right? And slowly but surely, you know, we started moving things up. We got a little cover, but we're still out in elements and whatnot. We had no workshop to speak of, but we always had dreams and ambitions to eventually have a workshop to where we could be inside and have employees and basically, like, you know, have all the machines, the big machines, the fancy machines that we ever wanted. But we knew it was going to take time. And I don't know if you guys are religious, but I'm very religious. I believe in God, believe in Jesus, and I believe everything works out at its own time. So long story short, man, we turned that working in the dirt, you know, $500 ROB tool set to, you know, everything you saw in the video, right? We have these big machines over here, man. We have a 3,500 square foot workshop. This machine over here, if you can see my mouse, it's a 5x10 CNC automated tool change. It's got that big old computer tower. So basically, this machine right here makes all of our cabinet parts for us. It helps with the furniture that we build as well. So before we had this machine, we were literally on like a little chop saw, table saw, you know, cutting all the materials down, building everything by hand, right? But also, like, it took a long time, right? So for me, I'm always trying to innovate. I'm always trying to do things more efficient, right? Get our processes down a lot better. So that's whenever you know, I started looking at how can we make things better. And in our small town, man, they're like, I don't think anybody has these machines, especially this 5x10 CNC, this one right here. So like I said, it cuts out all of our cabinet parts for custom kitchen cabinets, entertainment centers, dressers, pretty much anything that we do for clients. This thing right here cuts it out for us. It was an investment, right? But you got to invest in your future and invest in the technology. So we got this one, and this machine right here, this one in the back, it's called a CO2 laser, and it basically can cut or engrave on pretty much anything, wood. It can engrave on metal, and it can make like really cool things, man. You can make custom signs and whatnot. Just anything you see on Etsy, man, this thing right here can cut it out. If it's made out of wood, it can cut it out. Leather, it can cut it out. So that's what this CNC does right here. And like I said, it's a 150 watt CO2 laser Laguna. And then we have this machine right here by my welder. This is actually a plasma 4x8 CNC. And what this can do, it can cut out any kind of design and whatnot on metal. So it can cut up to 1 inch thick metal plate, right? So you can make you can make custom signs out of metal. You can make decorative designs for like you know, a fence, pretty much anything you can think of. This thing can cut it out in metal, right? So that's pretty cool. So these are the 3 robots that we have that you can see right here. But if you were to look on the other side of the shop, we have a lot of our what do you call it, like woodworking machines. So let me see if I can get a video real quick. And I'll throw that video in here, but you can see kind of the Grizzly machines that we have. And like I said, guys, just truly blessed to be able to have all these machines now. And what I'm trying to get at with this is without these machines, man. I'm gonna go ahead and play another video. This is my wife, and I'm doing a custom plank wall for a friend. Her name's Savannah. She's right here in the green. Basically, what I'm trying to get at, man, is you just gotta have a goal, right? And by I guess implementing all these new innovations for our business, it just gave me more time to kind of go back to trading, right? Because trading's always been a passion of mine ever since I figured out what it was. And so now that we got these things set up as far as the business, and I just felt like I can now dedicate more time to perfecting my craft and trading. Like I said, I'm still I'd say I'm still learning, right? Every day we're still learning. So I'm basically making this channel to document my process so that maybe my kids, one day they can come back and watch it and they can see like everything that I did and everything that I've learned. And I just want to teach them that there's no limit to learning, right? No matter what, man, you should always be learning, striving to learn new things. And so now that our woodworking business is kind of on a more automative trajectory, right? We have the machines that cut out everything. It's not so much I just feel like I can kind of focus on this now a little bit because we got some employees now. So it's not just my wife and I. We actually have a little team. So now that we got that settled, I'm able to now focus more on our trading, and that's kind of where I'm going to jump into next. So if you guys want to come, check out this channel, come subscribe, man. Like I said, it's my wife. This is my family right here. This is kind of the things that we build on our business. And you know what they say, when you're starting to trade, you don't want to go all in yet. You want to kind of have that side income coming in from a job or whatnot, just so you don't have the pressure, right, to pay the bills with your trading. So that's kind of what I'm looking at now going forward. I have our business to where, we're making money and whatnot. And I'm not just going to focus on trading to pay our bills, right? I got something to take care of that. So I'm still heavily involved in the business. I do more of the CNCs, the design work for cut cabinets, all the software stuff like that. So that's all the stuff that I handle. But yeah, like I said, I'm just able more to focus or try to focus more on trading. And I just want to start a channel, like I said, to bring anybody in that's trying to learn too, who might have a business on the side, or who's working, part-time or full-time, or who's going to school. You can still do this, man. So I appreciate you guys coming in, and hopefully we can make it right to profitability together, man, on this journey. So yeah, enough with that story. You guys kind of know who I am, what I'm about. Go give my wife a subscribe over here for our channel, and we appreciate it. So let's get back to the trading. So I'm gonna bring in my charts. So this right here, man, I trade off of TradingView, and right now I trade options, but then I'm also dabbling in the futures. And the reason why I'm looking at futures is because I don't know if you guys have heard of these traders, but let me pull up the names real quick. We got the Peachy Investor, and then we have Carmine Rosado. They are really big YouTube traders, right, who trade primarily options, or at least they did. But because of the theta decay and all this stuff that happens with, if you guys aren't familiar with options, is you could be winning on your trade, bro. But once the because the stock goes sideways, because nothing goes straight up or straight down, but because it might consolidate for a little bit, a winner can turn into a loser. And I'm telling you, after time and time of that happening to you, you can get frustrated, man. And trading, it's all about your mind, and it's all a mental game. So how can you eliminate that? Well, there's this thing called futures, right? And futures is basically, it's an option contract, right? But you don't have to worry about the Greeks. You don't have to worry about that theta decay or the deltas or anything like that. If you have, like, let's say you bought right here, right? Let's say you bought here, right? On this, whatever, bounce off of this double bottom, right? Say you bought here, right? With a regular option, it would come up, you would be in money a little bit, depending on what strike price you got and how far out the contracts were. There's just a lot to it. But you see this consolidation right here, you could be a winner, right? And then right here, you could start losing. I mean, you could literally go from like $100-$200 to like you're down $100-$200. That's just how these options work. It's very tricky and it's very frustrating. And then you say it does go down, right? You end up stopping out here because you were up 100, 200, now you're down 100. So you're like, damn, I'm going to get out. And then look, it does this. And it's like, dang, I could have been in there, right? So it's just frustrating with regular options. So that's when futures came into my mind based on these traders I'm going to show you right here. Like this one right here, this is that Peachy Investor. Shout out to her. Go follow her if you guys can. So yeah, basically she traded options for a while, and then she just started to switch over to futures. I think she still dabbles in options a little bit, but she trades the futures now. So she's a big reason why I figured that out. And then there's also that other one, which is, what's his name? Let me see, Carmine. So let's say Carmine. You guys probably have heard of him. I don't know, but let me type him in. Carmine Rosado. Yeah, this guy right here. So this guy right here primarily traded options, like I said, but because of the Greeks and the theta decay and all that kind of stuff, he transitioned over to futures. So yeah, these guys right here. And then, but if you guys just want to trade options, right, and you don't want to mess with the futures, then this guy right here, this dude right here, Vincent DiCiano, this guy, follow this guy, man. His strategy is the break and retest, and this guy's killing it, man. I mean, I'm telling you, man, this guy knows how to map out the levels, and he's just, man, he's the GOAT, bro. He's the GOAT. So definitely give this guy a follow too. But anyways, long story short, man, that's why I'm kind of dabbling into the futures market and getting into the whole prop firm game and whatnot. And speaking of prop firms, let me go ahead and show you guys real quick. I just well, actually, I had gotten funded. I passed with Apex. I passed a combine, which is a 25K. I passed this one on December 10th, right? And this is just trading on the futures, but it's trading some new strategies that I'm learning, which is the ICT concepts. If you guys haven't heard, just Google it or look it up on YouTube. It basically teaches you about market structure and how the market really works, right? Liquidity, buy liquidity, sell liquidity, all that kind of stuff. I'm not gonna get into it too much on the video right now, but yeah, look it up, guys. It definitely is an eye opener. So anyways, I got my funded account. I passed the combine. I believe you had to make 1,500, and you couldn't lose 1,500 or something like that. So once you hit that 1,500 profit target, you basically get moved into this funded account. So right here, I got a 25K funded account, and you had to pay an activation fee. I think it was like $130 or whatnot. But once you pay that, you don't have to pay it no more. So you can keep this account for as long as you want, as long as you don't lose the max amount, which is like, I believe 1,500. But anything over 1,500, you can keep it, right? I think it's a 90-10 profit split. So that's my my funded account, right? And I think before this, I've tried maybe 5, and obviously I've blown 5, right? Combines, maybe 6, but this is all new to me, man. This whole prop firm thing, I didn't even know existed until, on YouTube you can find everything. So yeah, there's that one. I actually had gotten funded back in October, but very important, if you guys do sign up for these combines, man, you need to make sure that your name that you sign up with matches your ID. And right here, man, I got funded, right? I passed the eval back in October, and I was so excited, man. The first time I passed and whatnot, and I go to do the registration for the funded account, right? Send in all my and they rejected me, bro. They said that my basically my name didn't match my ID. So as you can see right here, after careful review, we regret to inform you that we cannot verify your account because the name you entered on Apex does not match your name on your ID. And it says, as per our terms and conditions, all information must be accurate and reflect your legal name. Basically, blah, blah, blah. They closed my account. So yeah, my funded account got taken away. So what did I have to do? I had to re-log in, reset up a new account, pass a new eval, you know what I mean? And put my real legal name on there. I mean, I had John Haas, but my legal name is Juan Haas. So it's like just that little difference, man. Definitely messed me up. So if you guys are going to do this, I actually have a code for Apex too. So if you guys want that, I'll link that in the description. So anytime you use my code, you get the best discount that they have. And then I think I get a little kickback from that, from you guys doing it. But yeah, if you want to support the channel, support me, support my family, go ahead and use that code. I'll have it in the description. But yeah, so Apex is really cool. It's a 1 day to pass. So if you guys can hit your profit targets in a day, you can get moved to a funded with Top Step and whatnot. And then Take Profit Trader, they have the same kind of combines and whatnot, but it takes a few more days. Like you can't just pass in a day. You have to do like 7 days or 5 days or something like that, right? So yeah, so there's that. So back to the trading, I'm gonna go ahead and show you what I did today on my Take Profit account and then also on my funded Apex account. So on my right here we have, let me see what account I have. Right here I have my funded Apex account. So let me bring that in so you guys can see what that looks like. So right here, This is my funded Apex account. How do you know it's funded? If you look right here, this is the information about the funded, and this is what it looks like when you're just doing an eval. And I don't think this one's any good anymore. But yeah, so this is the funded account. It's 0001, and if you look over here on the account, it's 0001. So basically on this trade, what I did was, like I said, I'm trying to learn a new I guess strategy or whatnot. I never heard about it before, but like I said, I'm still learning, man. I'm still trying to figure out what I like and what fits my personality, right? Because the break and retest strategy, it's awesome, it works, but it just takes a while, man. I need something quick. So this ICT concepts, there's a lot of plays, man. Throughout the day you can take a lot of trades with this, but you got to be disciplined, right? So anyways, what was I trying to say? The trade I took today was a strategy called, let me go ahead and turn these on. There's this thing called kill zones or whatnot, and basically what it is, oh man, where'd it go? Hold on one second. All right, guys, so here it is. This is called kill zones, and I learned this from this guy on Instagram. His name's Tempo ICT. And basically what he's talking about with these kill zones is, this is an indicator that you can get, where's it at? What's it called, man? It's this one right here. I don't know if it gives you more information about it. Oh yeah, ICT kill zones and pivots, TFO. So you put this on TradingView, and basically it maps out the overnight sessions, which is the Asia, the London, and then you got the New York, and then New York lunch. So all these highlighted areas, they're the kill zones, which means like it's the best time to trade these sessions and whatnot. So basically what you're looking for is see these lows of the Asian and the highs, the lows of the London, the highs of the London. Basically what you're looking for is whenever New York opens and whatnot, you're looking for New York to sweep either the low or the high, right? And then you're looking basically for a reversal, right? So there's a certain pattern that shows up. It's called an inverse fair value gap. And like I said, it's in ICT, there's a lot of slang and for different things, slang and whatnot, different meanings for different things. So basically it's an inverse fair value gap, and basically what you're looking for is for price to come down, sweep this low of the London, which we did right here, right? And I'm gonna move this out the way now that you know what we're looking at as far as the low or the sweep of that London session. And so right in here was pretty much the London, right? This was like the London low or whatnot. And so what we were looking for was a sweep of this London low, right? And then you're looking for an inverse in a fair value gap. So what's a fair value gap? It's basically the gap between this candle and this candle right here. And so what you do is you drag it out like that. And so if you're looking for a reversal, once you sweep that liquidity from the London low, you're looking for the stock to basically reverse, right, and come back up to your nearest buy side liquidity, which would be up here. Oh, sorry about that. Which would be up in here. That's kind of what you would target. So the way this works is once you sweep the lows, you're going to come up, right? And here's your inverse fair value gap. The reason why it's inverse is because if we break through it, it now basically turns this from a rejection point to a support, right? So it's called an inverse fair value gap. So what you're looking for is for price to basically explode through this. And once this bar explodes through this fair value gap, you'll go ahead and take your buy right there. So you'll take a buy right here, right? And then you'd put your, let me move this out the way. You take the buy right there and you put your stop loss, usually at the end of this candle or whatnot, or you can do halfway. It's just up to you, but usually like that. And then you'll just target this next nearest level of supply right at the top. So that's usually how it's supposed to work, right? But in this case, as you can see, well, on my take profit account, the 50 cal eval, it failed on me. Why? Because I wasn't really doing what I was supposed to, and I was jumping in early, which was in here. So I got stopped out 2 times. So right in here, instead of waiting for a closure of it, I was just jumping in as soon as it wicked, and as you can see, it failed. So I ended up losing, and I think I was down like $900 to $1,000 on that eval, and so yeah, that sucked. But I went into this funded account with Apex, and I went ahead and took this setup again. But guys, look, we're kind of, and this is hindsight, right? But look at this, man. We have the VWAP right here, and if you guys don't know what that is, it's the volume weighted average price. Basically, in here, it's a lot of volume, right? There could be a lot of sellers, buyers in here. This is the median price. So we were running right into that. So in hindsight, I should have known, like, dang, man, even if this were to work, we're probably going to reject this. But for some reason, I decided to take it. 1 second. And for some reason decided to take it, and yeah, it just didn't work for me. So I take that off. I went ahead and logged into my funded account, which was with Apex, and I pretty much took the same setup, and this time we did have a closure over it, and this one ended up working for me. So of course I entered like somewhere there, had to stop there, and I was targeting up here. And as you can see, man, I did, like I knew that, well, I kind of knew, VWAP or whatnot, but I just thought that this was like, this could be such a powerful reversal, right? Because we're closing this gap that it would just shoot through this VWAP, and it really wouldn't be an issue. But as you can see, it really did become an issue, and it did respect it. So once it came up, I was in profit here, and I basically sold the majority of my contracts here. I think I took like 12 minis or 11 minis, micros, I'm sorry. And once it came up here, started having some trouble, I went ahead and sold pretty much all of it here, and I just kept the runner for this last one, and then it came back and ended up stopping me out. Because once I take my runner, I put my once I take my partial, I put my runner to break even, right? So it ended up stopping me out. But we ended on we actually made $340. So like I said, this is the funded account, and once I get this to, I believe, 1,500, so 25, let me see, 1 second, 2,500 plus 15, 25,000, I'm sorry, plus 1,500. Yeah, so once we get above 26,500, anything above that, I believe I can take out. I could be wrong about that, but I know you do need some kind of buffer in there. So either way, I'm gonna try to definitely grow this past the 26.5, just so I can have a bigger buffer when I do decide to withdraw and take a payout. But like I said, anything can happen. I'm learning this new ICT strategy, so my goal is to definitely get a payout, but we'll see what happens. I just wanted to show you guys the trade recaps, and like I said, I'm still learning this new ICT system. There's a lot of systems as far as setups that go into this system. So yeah, man, do your research. Go ahead and check it out. If you guys are looking for some good ICT traders and whatnot, I'm gonna pull over this guy right here. This guy right here is pretty good, Casper CMC. He's pretty good at teaching you some of the stuff, a lot of the stuff actually, so check him out. But yeah, man, so this is the video, the first video. It's a little long. Future videos from here probably won't be as long. But before we go, I am gonna start, I did set up a little Discord for I did set up a little Discord in case anybody wanted to, trade together or whatnot. So yeah, man, I'll drop a link for that too on the bottom. So if you guys are interested, jump on. But like I said, I don't trade. I'm gonna try to trade every day, but I'm gonna like I do have a business on the side, so I'm gonna try my best to get in there. But if you guys wanna sign up on there, depending on how many people want to go, we'll give it a shot. Also, before we do go, I do have an Amazon affiliate store or whatnot. It's called a merch account, and this is one of my top selling shirts. See my brand Traders Hustle. So yeah, man, if you guys want to check out some of the merch I have on Amazon, it's 2-day shipping for Prime and whatnot. Go ahead and check it out. I do have other stuff that I like to sell. You know, like Wall Street, basically anything like trading merch. I got bracelets, signs, and canvases and whatnot that I'm going to be throwing on Amazon, or might do it on my own Shopify store. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. But if you guys want to check that out, definitely give me a, you know, it'd help me out and whatnot. So I appreciate that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you on the next one. We're out. Bye.